Get ready, Mark. Welcome everybody, sorry about that. We've just got all this rain going on. We're just trying to work out whether we need to be inside or outside, so I wasn't sure what was going on. But yeah, it's not rained for a couple of hours, and then as soon as I stepped out of the car, quite literally, as soon as I stepped out of the car, it's just the heavens have opened again, and it's just coming down quite heavily now. I mean, the road wasn't dry, but it wasn't that wet. Now completely different. I mean, tyre choice, I think everyone's going to take there's only one choice, I would suspect, the wet tyre, the rain tyre. Let's see if that's what they take. But the stage has gone live, 10Ks long, 5 minutes 45 is what time was the quickest time through this morning. So I can't really see my watch or anything, because I went with the late spec of a jacket, and I didn't have my hood up initially until I got out of the car, and then I discovered I needed my hood up. But let's just whiz through. Remember, the big news, we need to just give you this if you're only just joining us. This is stage number 12. Stage number 13 will be the final stage of the rally. Stage 14 is now not happening. It was the one where the two Chris's, Chris the cameraman, Chris Rawls, were at the end of, as it's just starting to ease off with some rain, so that's quite nice. Stage 14, the organiser decided to cancel it on safety grounds, just because there was so much water there. To be fair, as it virtually hasn't rained since then, until just then, so it might have kind of like subsided a little bit, but anyway, it is what it is. So just looking at what time it is now, 58, the stage went at I think 55. Everything's hiding in my pockets at the moment, weather-wise, so we'll just get ourselves into position, and I was looking for a stone, but I don't know where it is. Let's just give a quick update on the results, because I went through those before, but let's just clarify them. Alexei Lukyanuk is still out front. Friesius Turan, he is in second place. It's over a couple of minutes now. Since you last saw them, they have been down to the service park, but also they've done a street stage, which Alexei Lukyanuk won as well. Turan was, Herzig was second quickest, sorry, and then it was Chris Ingram in third quickest. But overall, classification-wise, Alexei Lukyanuk is still out front, followed by Friesius Turan. Chris Ingram is in third. Now, with what we are thinking, with drop scores that come in, day points that come in, and things like that, is Chris Ingram in his position as he is now should, or is on line to win the championship by 1 point. Obviously that can change. He's 30 odd seconds behind Prince Albert in the day points. Remember, the top 7 get points, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down to 7th place. Day points up on offer. Chris Ingram at the minute is getting 1. If he gets past Albert, who's 38 seconds ahead of him, that will give him 2, which just gives him a little bit of a breather. If he was to take 52 seconds out of Friesius Turan, which is probably on speed alone virtually impossible, he would then get some additional overall classification points. It's 25, 18, 15 is what the difference is right at this moment in first, second and third, as I'm sure I can hear a car in the background. Fourth overall, Norbert Herzig. He's had a good run today, no punctures for him so far. He currently sits in fourth. He just put Callum Devine down into 5th place around the streets of the rally town. Only 5.7 seconds between those two. Albert von Thurner Taxis, he's 7th. Sean Johnson 8th. 9th is Paolo Nobre. And Eric Size and Jędrzejka Zarkova in their Ford Fiesta. They are in 10th place overall and leading ERC 3. And if they were to finish in those places, they would end up 2nd in the overall championship classification behind Efren Lorena and Sara Fernandez. As I'm sure I can hear a car, and it's coming around the corner, and this potentially is going to be Prince Albert. Lights on as well. He's got the light pods on. He's obviously expecting a late finish. I can potentially take my hood down now as well, because I haven't got a stone. Don't know where that went. I don't know where Chris's stone went from this morning, so we'll just have to ride down the hill with Albert I haven't got one, Albert. I have to find one. So, Albert, what was it like through there second time?
Yeah, difficult. We had a lot of rain.
The correct balaclavas, gloves, overalls and flame-proof underwear. So they're making sure that they've got all above board and law-abiding. It's for their safety. The top and bottom of it is their safety. And if they were to be caught not wearing the correct clothing or crash helmet, they basically get fined, and they could get excluded depending on the severity of the infringement, but normally it is a fine. And but anyway, we'll see. Right, we wait for the next car. Somewhere in all my pockets is a start list. I can hear it coming. There's an air horn. If that spectator can blow that air horn every time, that's really good, because that'll just give us a bit of an idea of who's coming, when, or not so much who's coming, but when someone's coming, and then I can have a look on my start list as to who it is. As it's Palle Lovas in his Skoda Fabia on his Pirelli rain tyres. Everyone running the Pirelli rain tyres, and I think we're still on. I'm not sure whether we have a small little issue, just something going on there with Chris, but maybe just drop the connection. So, but not a problem. We'll get a quick word with Palle for radio. So we'll see. Get Chris just in here. It's okay. How was that stage?
It was much better than the first time, because the first time we have not finished this stage because of the crash. Okay, we try to survive.
Okay, that's great, brilliant. Tries to survive. Yes, they went off in this stage this morning, and oh, I forgot to shut his door. He's got one of those pulley cables. They got like a lot of the Skodas, because the door opens so wide. They have like an elasticated band on the roll cage connected to the door, and they just give it a pull. (17.5) is the stage time for Lovas, who comes through as Norbert Herzig arrives. Just have a crouch to see. So, quick word with Norbert. Between you and Callum Devine, how did that?
Was absolutely good tires.
Good. We'll let the Hungarians get in live. But yeah. That is quite warm. The tyre smoking away as it dries. If he was to than anybody else through the stage. Herzig, 4th place overall, as we'll just wander down here just a little bit. Try and always stay in line with the marshals. That's what we're trying to do. Whoops! As we 5:47.9 is his stage time. But he's in that battle with Callum Devine. He's at the minute heading it. He's 4th place overall, but can Callum Devine come back? Callum Devine's been up and down the leaderboard like someone's heartbeat, up and down. But he was running 5th most of yesterday until he got the double puncture. Stopped to change one, then got another one. That dropped him down to 10th. Before the end of the day, he was back up into 5th. So a weekend of what could have been. But Callum having a spin this morning as Norbert Herzig just disappears around the corner and on his way to stage 13. Remember what we just said, stage 13 is the final stage. This is our final Facebook Live now, because stage 13 finishes deep in the forest. And as good as me and the cameraman Chris are, we can't get from here to there, and also when we get there's no phone service. But Chris Rawls has managed to get a phone signal on the radio box, which I'm hiding in this bag, this waterproof bag, and he's not moving from the spot. So we'll hear from Chris Rawls on the Rally radio service. As I wish they'd come a little bit further down. I need better football skills. I was all right when I was at school, but not so much now. But Valenzi is in. We'll get a quick word. You can see that elastic band. So we'll get a quick word with him, see what he's up to. How was it through there for the second time?
Sokkal szorosabb már. Azt próbáltunk csak, hogy lejöjjünk, mert igazából csak ezt a pozíciókat kell megtartani, és akkor a...
It's a 6:13.4 for the 29 car. I'm just going to put my hood back up because it's just starting to rain again now. And Chris was talking about this car earlier on with the colour scheme. Now he's running a grooved tyre on it, so that it's a Pirelli, what we call, I need to move the stone, the Pirelli rain tyre. Oh, there's another stone there. Found two now. So coming back, I want to try and bring them further down the hill. Chris was noting earlier on the 1919 on that Citroen. 1919 is basically 1990 was when Citroen was created. So this year's 100 years of Citroen, and they've had a pretty strong year across their motorsport activities in the C3, be it the World Car or the R5 car. But that is what the 1919 signifies, is 100 years of Citroen. As Callum Devine turns over, it's interesting, everyone's got their light pods on. The last stage going just before 4 o'clock. I think it's like 20 to 4, so everyone should be through it. And I'm not sure, it's 27k stage. Yeah, they might need the situation. So get a quick word with Callum. Callum, it's a little bit of a battle between you and Norbert Herzig. Are you trying to get him, or is it about survival?
We like that stage there and there. It's a bit like home, but we had a wee bit of a push on it. But yeah, there's a lot more grip than I thought. But yeah, he took a bit of time in there off it. So yeah, no, we're going to have to just get it through this next one. We wouldn't want to be going looking for time in this next one. But
well, he's on a Michelin full wet. Obviously, that's bigger grooves than what you've got available as well.
Yeah, we don't. The Michelin is quite well worked in there, but no, the tyres are holding well with Pirelli too. So one more stage, we'll see what happens.
Okay, so yeah, Callum's tyres not as heavily grooved because Norbert Herzig has taken the full rain version of the Michelin, so it's more like a standard tyre, obviously with performance in it. It's more like a standard tyre. So he's got that availability with the Michelin. But I mean, the rain tyre on the Pirelli is quite heavily grooved for a racing tyre, but the Michelin is much deeper tread, more stylish like a road car, but also narrower, so it cuts through those puddles a little bit maybe better. So it's a good run. It's a 2.0. For 4.1 seconds down on drivers with two. I think I need a word with him in English. Sorry, let's get a quick word. Fraser's obviously a bit of a battle, second place coming into it. What was it like for you?
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. We don't want to take any risk. We like to keep the pace and finish the rally like this. I'm pretty sure that Chris is pushing behind me, but I hope the 50 seconds would be enough.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going to set a 5:58.6, a 5:58.6, that's in the ballpark for sure, as he just disappears over it. I think even Ingram, on an absolute madness mission, will struggle to kind of take big time. He's got 50 seconds in advantage as Fraser Choran over Chris Ingram. Now, I'm sure my phone, which I don't know where I put it, was vibrating. Let's just see what news is coming through, if anything. I might be wrong, but let's just see if there was some news coming through there on the message services. Okay, nothing there. And then, okay, that's fine. Just checking any information coming through there, which is totally fine. Okay, that is okay. So at 5:58.6, 50 seconds advantage Choran has over Ingram. Ingram is in sight. Ingram is here. Just 3 of the 4 wheels that I can see as he comes towards us are okay. It's raining, wipers on. He's going to have a look at the tyres when he arrives. He is running the full rain tyre, so I'll be able to kind of show you a little bit of what it's like. So Ingram in. He's done a 53. He's taken 5 seconds, just under 5 seconds out of Albert. Taking quite a lot out of Albert. 17, so he's half the gap to Albert. Obviously, Chris, it's a big day, but what was that stage like? You're taking time out of Albert for those day points as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we need the day points or not.
Take anything you can get.
I think if we finish third, then we've won by 1 point, but I need someone from the FIA to confirm.
Don't even look at me for numbers. I am rubbish at it. But what was a piece of road like that you've just come down in these conditions?
It's very wet in there, but most of the road was clean apart from the end. There's a really slippy downhill bit into a hairpin, which was dangerous. But the next one's the proper test, and we need to get through there nice and slow.
You've got 4 rain tyres on it. Am I right in thinking that's the first time you've run 4 rain tyres across the car?
Yeah, exactly.
What did it feel like?
Yeah, really good. Can you move that rock?
Okay, yeah, I can move the rock, yeah. There, okay. I've moved that rock for you. Doesn't want to go over the top of it. Doesn't want to go over the top of it. It's a 5:53.9. 5:53.9 is the time. So 4 or so seconds out of Fraser Choran, I couldn't remember what I think of, and 17 or so out of Prince Albert. I know he's saying that he doesn't need to do Albert, but any points that you can get, you may as well take, as the helicopter's over above us. That signals that Alexei Lukyanuk and Alexei Arnatov are with us now. I can see 3 of the 4 wheels. They all look okay. Rain tyres again on this car, so that all our championship challengers are on the same tyres at the end of the stage. Get a quick word, it's a 6003. 6003. I think it's safe mode now, is it, Alexei?
Actually, it's the same problem with brakes as before. It's unbelievable, we changed everything, so absolutely frustrated.
I mean, fortunately, you've built such a commanding lead, you don't need to worry too much. Okay, not nice to drive with shaky brakes, and that's the rear brakes which he's got the issue with. They're vibrating for some reason, not really sure why it is, and they've just changed everything on there, but same issue with the brakes. So 6003 is the stage time for Alexei Lukyanuk and Alexei Arnatov. Car's coming. Sean Johnson is in. Everybody's kind of like jostling for position. Microphone's been stuck higher than what we kind of ideally want them. But Sean is in. Take my maybe take my hood down as well. That might help. Try and give as much space as possible for the cameraman. 6 something. Anyway, Sean, what was it like through there?
Yeah, started raining really hard in the middle of the stage, and my brake pedal got incredibly soft in there, so I'm a little bit worried for the next stage, which is longer. Luckily on the forest bit we're not braking so hard, so maybe that'll help out. But yeah, the pedal was almost into the ground there, which is not a great feeling to have in these conditions. But the stage itself was fine, good fun.
Will you try and bleed the brakes on the road section now, though?
We'll see if we have the time. It's a pretty tight road section, so I'm not sure if we'll have time. So I might just have to nurse it, manage it. So we'll see.
Right, well, I'm not going to delay you, so you might have a chance. Go, go, go. Sean Johnson, Alex Chiarani. Sean, when I asked the question, he had a look across to his co-driver, and Alex kind of like, I'm not sure whether we have the time to do that. The bleeding of the brakes, if there's any air in the system, they might just be able to get the air out of that system and just get the stuff going around better, pump it out so there's no air in the system. But let's see, they've got another check down here, so they have to stop here. That's not a problem. Down there, they have to stop there because that's an FIA check. But obviously, they've been here for like a minute or so. They've been down there for 30 seconds or so. Bleeding of brakes, you've got to take the wheels off. You're probably trying to do the front ones. You're trying to do all of them if you could, but definitely the front ones. Taking the wheels off, jacking the car up, things like that. It's about a 6 or 7 minute job, even just to do the front. So it's a tight road section. If they're going to do it, I would think they try and get as far down the road section as they possibly can before bleeding those brakes out, because then they know if we've got 2 or 3 Ks to go to the start of the stage, it just gives them that little bit more knowledge, rather than doing them like here, for example, and then having to do the whole road section and getting stuck in traffic and things like that. Get as far down the road section as you possibly can. They also might come back to him once he's cooled them off a little bit. They might just start to come back. He might glaze the pads and the discs. So let them cool down, then maybe reheat them again, see what it's like. If they don't reheat properly and they don't work to their full potential, then the next option is bleeding them. But whether that's going to be an option timing-wise, I'm not sure. But a 6:055. But we'll see as Eric Seitz and Jędrzejka Zarkova appear at the end of the stage. Just chock their wheel up. It's raining harder and harder, and it's tough for all of these drivers, but particularly in a front-wheel drive car with the amount of dirt around. But Eric, what was it like?
Stormy, heavy rain came for this stage, so after start it was really difficult because also a lot of aquaplaning here. But I really enjoyed this stage and looking forward for the last one, but it will be really tricky in this condition.
It will. We'll let you get off. Try and not keep the door open for very long as well, pure and simply, because once the rain gets in, you see all the windows are misted up, and that's just because of the condensation, because of the heat from the crew sweating and things like that, and then it just kind of puts up like this mist in all over it. Most of the cars have heated front windscreens, so it's not such a problem until the heated front windscreen fails. But the side windows and things like that are not normally heated, so inside of corners and things like that, it's quite difficult to look into. But they'll just keep moving. Obviously, then when we open the door thing gets wet, and then once they've had that, once they've got wet there, they've got it's a bit of a problem, so they need to dry it. So we'll see what is going on. Just going to check my phone for any information that's coming in. We've had our leading drivers. I'll try and give you an update on results as well once we get everything through. And let's just check. Okay. Let's just see what the results are. Waiting for another car to come through. I'm going to give you that leaderboard as we come through now. Here comes Paolo Nobre. Something hanging down underneath the car. I just think it's one of the protection guards underneath. Look at that, perfectly placed. That's where we want a rally car at the end of a stage. Right in and get a quick word with Paolo. Paolo, you keep talking about surviving and getting through this one. The road may be a bit cleaner with the rain or not?
For me, this special stage now, it's not raining like here. During the special stage, it's raining hard. So you have a lot of water splash and became a little bit dangerous, at least for me. And yes, I enjoy more first time. Now, like I told you, it was much more surviving than enjoying making rally. I don't like so much this kind of special stage, and now I'm really worried with the next special stage because we have a long part in gravel, and with this rain it's not gravel, it's mud, and we went out like I told you before, and I'm a little bit worried about what will happen now.
Okay, well, let him get down the road and so hopefully potentially not have to think too much about it. I was going to give you some results. Let me just flick up the board now with the results in it. Make sure I've got the right page up and running. Stage number 12. I'm sure I'm into stage number 12 here. As Kiss Junin comes in. Right, so it's Alexei Lukanuk who is out front, followed by Frigyes Toran. Chris Ingram is in third. Norbert Herzig is in fourth. Callum Devine is in fifth. I'm just trying to work out the differences. 47 Ingram is behind, so it's not doable if we're honest. Oops, we've got a problem with the arch. It's not doable if you get what I mean. As he's coming now. Daniel, I need to tell Daniel. He's just discovered they're going to go sort it out. Maybe he's had a puncture or he's had an off or something. But yeah, Ingram in third. Now he believes, we want some clarification from the FIA, he believes that is enough to secure the championship. But they've still got the longest stage and probably the most trickiest stage to do. Huge proportions of it are on gravel with tarmac tyres. So that's it. Lukanuk, Frigyes Toran, Chris Ingram are our top three, heading into the final stage. Now, we won't be there for Facebook Live, but our ERC radio coverage will continue at that stage. We'll continue here with ERC radio as well for a few cars, but our coverage will continue there. But before we leave, and as to play us out, we will have Callum Devine's onboard camera from earlier on. Enjoy this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 60, 2 right, small continues, go. 100. Line, 5 right, and 4 left. Small in, go. And 5 left, go. 120. Line. 5 right, small continues, go. Okay. 120, slowing. Lane is 2 left, keep in. Lane is 2 left there, keep in. 260 up the middle. Line, shortish fast, 3 left, in. 280 up the middle. Line, fast 3 right over bridge. Small continues, keep in. And short, 5 right. 60, 4 left, barrier inside. 120, slowing 3 left barrier and 2 right don't. Curbs. 3 left barrier and 2 right don't. Curbs. Into. Fast at 3 left, barrier inside. Go. 500 down the middle. Slowing care fast 2 right. Small continues, get in late. Repeat, slowing care fast 2 right. Small continues, get in late. 250. Line, short 5 right, the 4 left at the barrier, into shortish 4 right barrier at the top, 60, the very fast 3 left, in and go, and slight right, 80, 5 left, you see it, 100 slowing, 2 left, minus, continues long, barriers inside, 220 up. 2 right, barriers inside. 80 up. Crest, into 3 right, barrier, into shortish 3 left. Slowing 60 down to 2 right, minus, small continues in. 60, slowing. 2 left, continues, barriers inside. And line 5 right, slight left, pink, 180 down, use the board for slowing line 6 right into right entry 3 bales, 150 from here, right entry 3 bales, 180 down the middle, slowing line 3 right, small continues, you have 60 for care, 3 left, minus, nips, get the drive on it, 200. Slight left over crest, you have 60, the short pass 3 right, you see it, and line 3 right again and short is 2 left, barrier inside, 120. Middle over flat crest into slight right, 180 down the middle. Line 4 right, go, it continues, keep in over small crest. Slowing 60, the shortest pass 3 left over bridge, don't you'll see it. 60, slight right, 180. Slowing left over long crest into short 3 right, it's slippy, muddy, into short 3 left, in maybe. 120. Right entry, 2 bales chicane, tight. 2 bales only, tight. 100 up. 4 right continues for 140, it nips. Half of the sign, keep slowing, to 1 left. Barriers, inside. 100 down. Line 2 right in and go. 550 up. 550 all the way up. Slowing crest, you see it in the short 3 left, keep in at the top, into 2 right, barriers, keep on the 3 for 2 right, barriers, and slight left, go, 160 down, slowing 4 left, continues for 120, keep on it at the end, the 1 right comes quick. 180 down the middle. Slowing 1 left in, wee bit of gravel, 1 left in, small gravel. 250. Line 4 left over bad bumps and slowing short 3 right, keep in maybe, and keep slowing to 2 right, in over mud into 1 left, in, watch the lip, into line slight right and 2 right, barrier inside, you'll see it, 30, line, short 3 right, go, 70 down, line, short 3 left, go, 60, slowing line, 4 left, keep left, a fast 2 right, continues, barrier inside, you see it, and slowing 1 left, minus, over the finish, repeat, 1 left, minus, over the finish, right, you're over. Yeah, cut the corner again. Keep the stuff on.